All right. So months go by. I'm at the job. Everything is whatever. So Layla was going to be out of now. At the job, there was this girl that I worked with. We're not going to talk about what her skin color is because clearly we know what it is. And I told you the only African American at that job. Cool, whatever. So she used to be able to work from home whenever she felt like it, or when something was going on, or anything. She used to be able to work from home. Now, mind you, she is like 24. She has a boyfriend, and she only has a dog. No kids, no nothing like that. So, but she was so sweet. I loved her, whatever. But that's besides the point. So she would be able to work from home whenever she asked or anything like that. They would let her work from home. So there came a day to where Layla was going to be out of school. One day, Layla was going to be out of school, and they have weird holidays. They have Jewish holidays and things like that. Holidays that we don't have in Alabama that I'm not used to. So all the schools were going to be out, and plus the Mod Podge was going to be out. Now, by this time, Gurt is back at work. She's not working from home anymore. She's back in her office. Doormat, who we don't even talk about because he's not even relevant for real. You're a ghost at this point. But he worked for State Farm, so he would do like disaster relief or something like that. So he hadn't even been at the home at the house for over a year. He would literally go out of town. He would come back for when they went on trips or holidays or things like that. So he was away. He wasn't even in the home like that. So it was just Gurt at the house by herself majority of the time, which she liked, which was weird. Anyway, that's your marriage. That's what you want to do, whatever. So I had nobody to watch Layla. And this nigga, I don't remember what he was doing because he's not, I don't care. I don't know what he was doing, but clearly he wasn't finna watch Layla. So I'm just like, okay, they letting her work from home. I just need one day. So I asked my manager, I asked the supervisor, the owner, and everything if I could just have this one day because I literally had nobody and I didn't want to miss out on no work. So they told me no. So I'm asking, I'm just like, well, KK gets to work from home. I called her KK. That was my little nickname for her. So I was like, well, KK gets to work from home and she doesn't have children. I'm only asking for one day. They didn't want that. So I had to miss out on work. But at this point, I'm mad because why are you discrimination? Why are you discriminating against me when I'm asking for one day? I live down the goddamn street, but y'all let this girl work from home whenever she wants. Okay. So, yeah. So when that popped off, y'all know me, y'all know Bree, okay? I'm finna start looking for somewhere else to go. Because what you're not going to do is discriminate against me, and then you can't even give me a good reason why I could not have that one day to work from home when I show up to work every day. I do not give problems. I'm busting jobs out of the ass, and y'all want to give me problems? But y'all want to sit up here and sit up in my face and placate me and do and ask me stupid questions about my ethnicity and shit like that. Whatever. So I end up telling Gurt. And then Gurt is like, oh, they're discriminating against you. She said she had lawyer friends on standby and stuff like that. So she composed an email for me to send them. I'm talking about straight up and down email about, discriminating against me and stuff like that. And what. Y'all, when I tell y'all I started a frenzy up in that place because they didn't think a African-American, well put together female could send an email like that. Oh, I shook that little ass building up. I shook it up, goddamn. Because you got all these black movers, all these black people surrounding you. You want to use us for our work, but then you don't want to treat us correctly. And mind you, I'm in Florida, the melting pot, whatever. So yeah, I started sending they ass emails about this and this and this and this and that and whatnot. Oh, when I tell you it was a frenzy up in that bitch. I'm talking about, now it's a family business. So Susan, who was the owner, she had her two sons that, worked there too, but one son was never really there. So it was the other son. He had his office over there, and then his wife was in marketing. So her office was in the back. When I tell y'all, they was in that bitch powwowing and doing all this, walking by me, making snide comments and remarks and stuff like that. So Susan calls me on the goddamn phone one day. And she's like, I sent one more email because y'all not responding to me. And I'm literally right here in the office. Y'all right there looking at me. But y'all not responding to none of my emails. So Susan, the owner, calls me on the phone and is like, well, I've been seeing these emails and things like that and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, we can't. I'm just like, but Susan, how is that fair? I literally asked for one day to do that. Now, mind you, the son is in his office with the door open and he's acting like he's busy, but he's not. I know he ear hustling. So I'm on the phone. I'm just like, but Susan, I just don't see how it's fair because I just asked for one day. Like, I'm a single mother and I show up and I do my job. I do not cause problems. And KK over here, she doesn't have a child or anything. Now, I will give KK some credit because even KK said something to them about it. She didn't even feel right. She was like, I don't know why they're doing this to you or why they won't, give you that day. You're a good worker and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that's they shit. She don't have a say-so. So I didn't fault her for anything. Your skin color got you through. Got it. So literally had a conversation with Susan. She was like, well, we can't do that. And, we're just not, you don't have the option to do that. You haven't been here long enough. I've been here 3 years. And then I came back after COVID and still put my best foot forward and was doing what I normally do because y'all wouldn't have called me back if I wasn't a good worker. I don't never go nowhere and slack my ass off because I need my money. I'm about my money. So cool. From that point on, they were trying to give me hell. So a week goes by and the son want to call me on the phone. Mind you, he's always been nice speaking to me. Like, I kept my distance from him because I told you I can read energy. I wasn't hip to how well I could read energy yet, but I always knew if I had a feeling about somebody, I would keep my distance. He decides to want to call me on the phone one day and say, so I overheard the conversation that you had with Susan and I don't like what you were saying to her. Now, mind you, I'm not a loud talker. I don't talk loud or anything like that. Especially, I'm professional. I'm never going to be rude with you. I'm never going to, I'm just not that type of person. So me and Susan, we had a clear, straight to the point conversation. I understood what she said. Okay, cool. Y'all didn't like them emails I was sending because y'all ain't never had nobody challenge y'all with facts. Okay, y'all used to these little black girls or black women coming in and they just fed up and no, I'm saying something because it's not right. Y'all are clearly discriminating against me. Everybody in this office sees it and you think I'm gonna be quiet? No. So I'm just like, okay, Brent, okay, sir. Like, still giving respect. Like I said, I'm from the South. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Things like that. He was like, you were very aggressive on the phone. Once again, y'all love to throw that aggressive ass, like literally Karen and me. Once again, I'm getting Karened because I'm standing 10 toes down about y'all not treating people right up in here, which people is me. So long story short, he was just like, we're not going to condone that and stuff like that and whatever. Get off the phone with him, whatever. Still go about my day, still go about my business. Now, the next week, I get a email from mods and they're saying that one of the kids had COVID. The parents did not inform them because after COVID popped off, if your kid is sick or anything like that, then you have to alert the school and you got to keep your school away. You got to go get tested. Y'all know the ins and outs. So that's what happened. So I'm panicking. I'm just like, I send them an email and things like that. And I'm like, I got to go get Layla tested. I got to get tested. This kid was in school for a week and their parents did not notify mods that they were sick. So I'm like, I will return after I get the test and stuff like that. So do the test and stuff like that, and I'm waiting because Layla was getting a little sick. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? So I'm taking her to the doctor and everything. And I'm following up with them, letting them know, okay, we went to go get tested and we're waiting on the results. And I'm taking Layla to the doctor and things like that. So she was sick. She didn't have COVID, but she was still sick. Now, mind you, I don't have anybody to watch her. So I have to stay home and miss out on my money so I can make sure my child is sick so I can get her back to school and get me back to work. Once again, a conspiracy. Once again, planning something. So my supervisor proceeds to email me talking about, you can't return to this office until we have this. Never in my life have I gotten this. Now, I've been out of work before. But now y'all bringing up new shit that I have to have, new records and shit that I have to have? Since when? Since when? Y'all were trying to push me out of that company. Okay? Got it. And in the meantime, I was already looking for another job. And when I tell you, I'm going to keep telling y'all, God don't play about me. Ended up on Indeed, a job ended up finding me and reaching out to me again. Because once, like I said, my resume will get me through the door. Did the interview, was going through the process. In the meantime, going through hell with my job and them talking about you can't come to the office and this and that. Okay, that job hired me like 2 days later. And when I tell you, I had a key to the building because we would work on Saturdays. I'm talking about taking people Saturdays when they didn't want to work. I'm literally like, sometimes it was literally me only in that office working on Saturdays. And I'm taking jobs. I'm opening doors. I'm taking mail and stuff like that. I got that job. When I tell y'all, I politely mailed that motherfucking key back. And I said, fuck y'all. And went on about my business. And the good thing about it, this job was work from home. My first work from home job. And they provided me with all of the stuff that I needed and things like that. So I was done with them. So I'm not working yet. I had a set training date, so I was good on that. So let's get back to Gurt and Invader Zim. So after that situation pops off, told you he's living 6 feet around the corner, still not doing anything, but picking her up and secretly whisking her away down to Pompano with his mama. Not telling me anything. And in between that time, he got into another car accident. But this time, it was somewhere. I don't know. Didn't even know my child was in the car. So you know what happened? And mind you, to this day, they still ain't said shit about it. But they're shocked that I know. I know because God will figure out a way to get messages to you. So y'all have to open y'all minds and open y'all ears to know when God is talking to you and when God is trying to give you some clarity and some confirmations on shit. He was giving me confirmations, and I'm telling you, I wasn't digging in nobody's business. I'm over here trying to have my own fucking life. But everything them people was doing, God was secretly dropping gems on me, and the information was getting back to me anyway. He was in a car accident and my kid was in the car. So you know what mommy did? Mommy sat up there, went and raced and beat the police to snatch my child about that car and go on about her business so he wouldn't get bumped up with a child in the car. And you know how I found out? My own kid told me. You think my kid's gonna keep something from me? My child told me that. Because I'm her mother. And she felt safe with me. Anyways, let's move on. So it comes to the play. I haven't started working, from home yet. But it's his weekend to get Layla. So I'm getting my stuff ready. I'm chopping up with my friends. We making plans and stuff like that. And I had plans to go out that night. So tell me why Gurt had to get out of her motherfucking body and come call me and tell me something. So you know what she tells me? You know what she tells me, y'all? And oh my gosh, her voice on that phone was so goddamn pitiful, because now you have to get your panties out your ass and you got to come to me with some information. She called me and she's on that phone like, Bree, this is how she talking, y'all. Now, normally she's upbeat. Not today. Not today, baby. Not today. So she calls me and she's just like, Bree, now before I tell you this, I don't want you to get upset. I don't want you to be alarmed, and everything is gonna be okay. I'm looking at the phone like, fuck this bitch talking about. Like, okay, what? I'm thinking somebody died or something. Like, I don't know. But she just like, Taiwan got arrested. Taiwan got arrested. He's in jail. And I know this is his weekend to get Layla. So what I'm going to do, I'm talking about sniffling on the phone, trying to make it seem like she crying and shit like that. I'm going to get Layla. And you're still going to have your weekend and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm just like, what happened? So she tells me that the night before, I told you this nigga stayed 6 feet around the corner now. Let's remember that. 6 feet around the corner, but like we in front of train, a train station, train tracks and shit like that. So you don't hear what's going on in the front of the apartments. I only hear what's on my side, and I only give a fuck about what's on my side. I don't give a fuck about the other side. So she's like, I told y'all he was gallivanting around Miami with a little young Spanish hoe. She's like maybe 19, 20. I don't know how old she was. Don't care. So she's like, Taiwan got arrested. Said that him and the girl Alexis was fighting. Her name was Alexis. Said her and him and Alexis was fighting. He was trying to get her out of his apartment. Actually, no, she said that they were arguing and he wasn't letting her in his apartment. So she got so mad that she got something, I don't know, she grabbed something and bust his window out in the apartment. Oh, you getting your ass beat over there by a little 20-year-old? Oh, see, you thought you was big shit because you around here dating a Spanish girl, so you already think you high shit. Pitiful, pathetic ass. Anyways, back to the story. So she's like, she ended up busting out his window. And then, so he finally tries to, once she busts the window, he goes outside to tell her to leave and stuff like that. So she starts punching him in the face, and they end up getting into his apartment. So she said once he got into the apartment, I guess they started scuffling or whatnot, or whatever like that. I don't know. And she says that she runs outside. Now, mind you, in Dania Beach, where we are, literally up the street, it's a convenience store that you walk to and stuff like that. And then there's literally a police station right there in the heart. Like if I walk down the street, bust a corner, I'm at the police station. So she tells me she ran down. First of all, she knocked herself out. And she ran down to the police station and filed a false police report and said that he was beating on her. Now, mind you, this pussy boy, this boy can't even hurt a motherfucking, he can't even hurt himself at this point. So, yeah, so they ended up arresting him because, he was upset and things like that. They ended up arresting him and he's in jail. So we're trying everything in our power to get him out. Mind you, it's the weekend. You ain't going nowhere, bitch. Ha, 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 ha. You see how God don't like ugly? And you were so, gun-ho, and you were so happy that I was in my domestic violence relationship when you over here getting your ass crammed, rim-ragged, ransacked by a little 20-year-old. I'm talking about blacked his eye, broke his motherfucking arm. I'm talking about, and then I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna insert this in here too. Like when we were about to move out of the big house, he came home and his foot was wrapped up one day. That bitch ran over his foot. So you've been getting rim-ragged by a little Spanish 20-year-old. Oh my God. But you know what? I didn't even relish in that shit because I know he's a pussy boy. So I don't know. But then again, you don't know what you gonna do when you in a domestic violence situation. So you see how God flipped that shit and you ended up being in the, how you let a 20-year-old beat your ass? Huh? How you let a 20-year-old little Spanish fly beat your ass? Okay. But it was so funny when it was me. It was so funny when it was me. Now you got your little slick head ass mama calling my phone crying, talking about, oh my God, panicking. And I'm still standing 10 toes down. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, why would she do that? Filing false police reports? That's because y'all on them drugs. And let me tell y'all another little tidbit. So in between this time, I'm on Instagram. And, the only person from his family that I was following was his cousin, his favorite cousin. Now, at this point, everybody has, I guess, washed their hands with Taiwan at this point because I posted a picture of Layla one day, and his cousin, messages me and was just telling me like, you a good mom. Like, I see what you do for Layla. Like, you don't stop, and you make sure she has everything. Like, and then he was like telling me that he had like a Nintendo, like a little Game Boy that he wanted to send me for her, and I'm, we chopping it up, and then he proceeds to tell me that he done washed his hands with Taiwan. You want to know why he washed his hands with Taiwan? Because this nigga over here popping perks. So you been lacing your blunts with crack, and then on top of that, you been popping pills? You been popping pills around this bitch. And mommy has been covering for you every single time. But as soon as some shit pop off with me, you bitches running to go tell my business. But y'all keeping his shit under wraps once again. And this man is 28 years old. Getting his ass beat. I'm talking about stomp. I'm gonna people say stomp. Getting stomped out by a 20-year-old. Oh, ain't God good? Ain't he good? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me calm down. Let me stop. But yeah, so she picks Layla up. I have my weekend, and I don't give a fuck what happens to you, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Because all this shit you've been doing, we on year motherfucking 6. Been having hell since you bitches entered my life. Not knowing that I was sent into your life to be a blessing. And you fucked over your blessing. So look what's happening to your ass now. And mind you, at this point, he don't even work at the airport. They didn't tell me that either. Got fired from the goddamn airport. Wanna know why? Because that bitch was coming up to your job giving you hell every day. Every day. Beating on your ass in the airport. Where we do that at? Nah? Okay. Anyways, let's move on. So, at this point, got my job. I'm working from home. Income tax rolls around. Oh, and this was the year that it started to pipe up for me. When I tell y'all, this was the biggest. Now, after them motherfuckers showed their colors to me, you think I'm finna have you looking at my income and what I got going in? Because that's another way that you were trying to, keep your tabs on me. Now, mind you, y'all, this lady has everybody's account. This lady controls everybody in the family's account. Everybody grown, and everybody has their information in her hands. She had mine at one point too, but it got to a point where I was like, can you send me this? Can you send me that? Because I'm thinking she's teaching me how to budget, how to save my money. Mind you, I wasn't afforded that when I was younger. I was raised by my grandma. My grandma did whatever she wanted, whatever she needed to do. She got paid under the table, and she just, sacrificed a lot of things. So when it came to budgeting, I didn't have anybody to teach me that. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay, a mother figure that's going to teach me some more fundamentals. No, that's another form of control. Don't let nobody control your money. So by that time, she hadn't had my account for over 2 years. I snatched that shit back so motherfucking fast, because what you're not going to do is tell me what to do with my money. And what you're not going to do. So I was taking all my control back. I'm taking all my power back from these people. Ladies, stand the fuck up and take your power back. Do not have anybody try to control you when it comes to your life, your dreams, your goals, and what you want to do, because every goal, every dream that I mentioned to her that I wanted to do, when I tell you some kind of way that shit will fall, tower after tower after tower. Be mindful. Anyway, so he gets out of jail, whatever. I'm working from home. Everything copacetic. Income tax roll around. I'm talking about, y'all, this is the biggest amount of income tax I had, because mind you, COVID and all that stuff like that accumulated. And best believe I'm claiming my child from this point on. Bitch, you sink or swim, ho. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what happens to you. Twee. I wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. I wouldn't help you if you was the last insect on this earth. Anyway, back to it. So, yeah. So, by this time, I hadn't had any problems with my focus. I'm talking about I ain't paying no note or nothing like that. So, I got a big ass amount of income tax. I'm talking about a hefty amount. So my mind said, I'm not finna spend this shit frivolously. I'm finna do what I wanted to do. I literally spent like $700 on clothes for Layla. I bought me a couple of things, but I bought a car. I finally bought a car that I wanted. I bought a 2014 Nissan Altima. Oh, it was gray. Oh, the tents, and I paid $3,500 for it, because I was working with one of the movers that I work with at Two Men. His mom owned a car place, like a used car place. Anyway, we ain't gonna get on whatever. But and he knew I was looking for a car. Oh, when I tell y'all, now the car needed work on it, but you know, I don't give a fuck. If I want something, I'm going to get it. So I bought the car for $3,500, and then I took it to the car shop that we normally got our car service at, and I spent another $3,500 to get everything in that bitch fixed. And then I took it to the flea market, because there's a swap shop. There's a famous swap shop in Fort Lauderdale. The sound system. Y'all know what a flea market is. It's just like a mini. I'm just playing. So, yeah. So I took it to the flea market. Got a whole sound system. I got tweeters in that bitch. I'm talking about. I got the little tapping screen that you can have. I put some lights in my shit. Finally doing something that I wanted to do. I got the little car accessories from Amazon. Had my little pink steering wheel. Had my little cute accessories. I was going to the top. So my life was finally like starting to feel good. I was finally starting to feel good about my life. And mind you, it's 2021. So I'm talking to my family at this point. And me, my sister, and my two cousins who are sisters, we would like FaceTime every night. I'm talking about our relationship got so close. Like, I love my family. Like, my family gives me life. When I tell you, that's all I care about on this earth is my family. So we set up a cousin trip. They were coming down to Miami to see me. So we got an Airbnb and things like that. And I'm literally telling these people when my family is coming down. Mind you, they've never met my family. Well, Gurt met my sister and my grandma when I had Layla, because they were at the hospital. But they never met my cousin or anything like that, and they wasn't going to. Like, finally, I had refuge. Like, finally, my family's coming to see me. Oh, my God, I'm finna have a ball. I'm finna party. Tell these people when my family are coming. They like, okay, yep, we'll get Layla, blah, 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 blah. Tell me why. And I had to pick my family up at the airport that day. So tell me why they know what's going on. Once again, trying to hurt me, trying to do everything in their power for me to not have any refuge, to isolate me, for me to not have anything. So tell me why Layla had already been over there, because they knew I had to pick them up from the airport that morning. So tell me why this bitch, and he used to have this little thing where he would just be like, oh, I can't watch Layla, I got a job interview. Oh, I can't do this, I got an appointment here. You don't have shit to do, bitch. You don't have a motherfucking thing to do but waste your fucking life away. You. All right. Sorry, God. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But you're a waste of space. You're a joke. You're pathetic. You're lame. You a lame. You a bitch boy. But anyways, so Layla was already over there with him. Tell me why I'm about to get ready to go to the airport and this nigga literally leaves Layla in front of my front door and literally walks the fuck away. So I hear a knock at my door. My child is standing in front of my door by herself. And I'm looking like, why are you here? Like, what's going on? So I'm calling him. I'm calling him. Mind you, I told you he lives 6 feet around the corner. I could easily walk around that bitch because you literally just dropped her off here. Once again, trying to stall me, trying to stifle me, you mad ass hoe. You mad because my family coming down. We could have jumped your ass right then and there once they got here. Because my cousins and my sister was ready to dig their foot up in your ass, bitch. But I stopped them. I stopped them from beating your ass. I said, we ain't gonna do that because he's already getting his ass beat by a little 20-year-old around the corner anyway. So I was so mad. Like, I literally started crying because it's just like, I hate y'all. I literally hate y'all. And it takes I don't hate people. But I'm on year 6 of this bullshit. So you know what I do? I politely get my kid because I wanted them to see Layla anyway. Because if I would have picked them up, they would have never got a chance to see Layla. So that was just God saying, okay, that's all right. So what happens is I pick them up from the airport. We spend some time with Layla. We go get something to eat. And I drop her ass off at Pompano because we already had an arrangement, you stupid fucks. And do you really want my family to slide to your crib? Since we Alabama trash, let's show you what Alabama trash is. But I'm telling y'all, my family was on go mode. We don't play that shit. We the McDonald's. We don't fuck with nobody. We don't bother nobody. And I had sat there and I had told them everything that I was going through. Oh, when I tell you they was livid. My sister, that's Big B. That's Big Bout It. She do not play about me. She was ready. She had already wanted to touch Gurt anyway. From the time she saw her in the hospital, she wanted to put hands on her. And I'm like, no, don't do it. I gotta live here. You don't. Remember Day Day. I'm like, come on now. Come on. Let's be civil. Still sparing you bitches. So, anyways, get besides that. So, we down in Miami. We having a good time. When I tell you, y'all, I'm on my Instagram. Like, we chilling in the Airbnb before we slide. I'm on my Instagram. And something told me, look in your stories. Tell y'all this nigga has been stalking me from I don't know how long. I'm talking about looking at what I'm doing. You don't give a fuck about me, right? You don't give a fuck about what I'm doing. You don't give a fuck about me. I'm scum of the earth to you. Why you in my stories? You weird ass nigga. Blocked immediately. Immediately blocked. And I told y'all he was posting me on his Instagram, but I didn't know because he's blocked on my end. But no, you created another page to come find me and stalk me because this is before my page was private. After that point, I made my page private because you, your mama, and all your little cult people trying to spy on me and see what the fuck I got going on. Weird ass bitches. Weird. Anyways, have a good ass time with my. If y'all go to my Instagram, y'all see how lit we was. Oh, we was so lit. So the last day before I had to take them back to the airport, my phone starts blowing up. It's him. Because your mommy made you get your child. That's why you mad. So you blowing my phone up talking about what time you gonna be here, when you coming back. And I'm not responding. Fuck you, bitch. I'm not responding because once again, trying to plant seeds, trying to throw little grenades on my shit, and I haven't seen my family in 5 years. You bitches couldn't even give me that. I'm talking about, y'all, when I tell you this nigga sent me a text message talking about, I know you better be dead while you ain't answering the phone. Oh, but when your crackhead ass don't answer the phone. Yeah, I'm talking about harassing me up and down. So I wasn't responding at all. So guess what happens? Gurt, pinhead ass, wanna start calling me and texting me. And Bree, here's the text message. Bree, I just want to know that you're okay. I just want gaslighting like a bitch. Talking about, I just want to know you're okay. We want to know if you're alive. Bitch, you know I'm alive. Where the fuck else would I'm with my family. And literally we all just sitting on the bed, just watching my phone blow up, reading the text messages. When I tell you, they wanted to get an ass before they got on that plane. And I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do it. Once again, sparing you motherfuckers. Because I have been hurt and abused and disregarded and so much shit with these people. Like literally trying to make me lose my goddamn mind. I ain't worried about it because at this point, I'm numb to it. I know ain't nothing happening with my kid. I know my kid is good. Y'all will see me when y'all fucking see me. And I took my motherfucking time. Because normally I be in a frenzy. I be in a rush. I be like, no, I got to get to my kid. I be trying to think about other motherfuckers. And I be trying to put them into consideration. No, but y'all never put me into consideration. Y'all never had any love for me. Y'all never had any good things for me. So fuck you. So my family goes home. I'm elated. I have gotten a new breath of life. New breath of life. This is where it pipes up. So after my family leaves and stuff like that, me and my cousin, we talking and stuff like that. Now, by this time, after they got back to Alabama, my cousin had got a great job opportunity to go to move to Hawaii. Who does that? So proud of her. So proud of my cousin. Because once again, the McDonald's, and we ain't got no experience in nothing, that don't mean a motherfucking thing. We gonna get the experience, or we gonna figure out how to get in them loopholes to get what we wanted. And that's how my cousin was. We hustlers in this family. We don't take no for an answer. We gonna do what we need to do to get to where we want to get to. So she got afforded the opportunity to go to Hawaii, to move there. So she moves there. Now, in between that time, I'm still going through shit and whatnot. And so it's coming up time, 2021. Yeah, because I left in 2022. Okay, so my lease was up in August of 2022. So my cousin, one day, she was just like, Bree, I want you to move down here to Hawaii. Like, it's beautiful here. Like, I'm by myself. I don't have no family, just me and Case. So we can, we can be mothers. We can build ourselves up and stuff like that. So I'm like, who gets the opportunity to go to Hawaii? Y'all know I'm a free spirit. I've lived in Alabama. I've lived in Tampa. I've been in Florida. I'm finna go to the next state because I don't want to go back now. I'm going to tell you this. By 2021, my grandma's health was bad. She had moved out of the assisted living and she was in a nursing home by this time. So I'm already got guilt in my heart because a whole almost 7 years went by. And I had not spent that time with my grandma except when 2017 when I was trying to move back. That was the last time I saw my grandma. So, she was in a nursing home by then. I'm talking about bedridden, wasn't getting up, wasn't doing nothing. So before my cousin offered me to go to Hawaii, I was about to move back home to Alabama anyway. Because something in me just felt like I wasn't going to have my grandma for a long time. Like, I just felt like she was about to leave us. So I said I wasn't going to renew my lease. And I was going to move back home to Alabama. But then my cousin offered me to come move to Hawaii. So I said, you know what? That's a beautiful opportunity. Who gets to say, they moved to Hawaii? So I took it. Now, let me tell y'all. After I told her I was going to move, I got a job in Hawaii before I moved there. I literally got at a bank. Gather Credit Union. Gather Federal Credit Union. Literally, they hired me on the spot. I'm still in Florida. Securing a job before I get there. Literally doing everything. So it's time for me to tell them. I tell them I'm moving and stuff like that. Oh my God, they're shocked, blah, 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 blah. So in between that time, I'm making arrangements to secure the job. So all I got to do is coast. I'm not renewing my lease. I know I'm going to get my security deposit back. I kept the apartment in pristine condition. I'm going to sell all my shit and I'm finna get the fuck on. Now, let me tell y'all something. Now, before that, I went, like, one day, because it was, time to, before it's time to renew your lease, like, the leasing office will just be like, hey, renewing is coming up and stuff like that and whatnot. Now, I told y'all, I have a good rapport with the leasing office. So me and Miss Brenda would talk. I would go down there and, they didn't have a portal system to where you could pay. I'm tell y'all, this apartment complex, they old fashioned. I used to have to go get a money order and go walk that shit to the leasing office. And sometimes I would really just walk to the leasing office because it's right there. It wasn't in the same vicinity, but it was like across the street. So I would just use that time. Me and Layla would go walk and stuff like that, have our little fresh air. Y'all tell me why the day I go pay my last month's rental, Miss Brenda talks to me and she's just like, let me tell you something. And I was like, what's going on, Miss Brenda? What's good? She's like, have you talked to Taiwan? And I'm like, nope, don't know what he doing. She was like, I've been calling him and he's not answering the phone. She says we had an arrangement for him to either pay his back pay for rent or he's getting evicted. I said, back pay? Now, mind you, he had a little job, I guess, working at Target or something like that. I was not keeping up with this nigga. I ain't give a fuck. I give a fuck about me. So she's like, yes, and I've been calling his mom too. And she hasn't been responding. I said, oh, word? She said, he is 4 months behind on rent. She said, I went over there to talk to him one day because we made an arrangement. He said he was going to, we always try to help y'all out. She said she walked over there one day to his apartment. She said that apartment was disgusting. Y'all, this lady pulled out her cell phone and showed me pictures of that man's apartment. Tell me why it looked like the same apartment that he got evicted out of, Cypress Grove. Disgusting. I'm talking about my baby, clothes and shit everywhere. Expired ass food. It's gnats all in the apartment. The bathroom is disgusting. I'm talking about everything. And then he left all his furniture there. Didn't even take his furniture. So I told y'all, I'm still thinking that this nigga lived 6 feet around the corner from me. Because he was still getting later periodically. This nigga was picking up my kid and they were literally walking around the corner acting like they're in that apartment. No, you going around that corner and you dropping my kid off at your mama house. So I don't even know where my kid is. My kid was either at your mama house or at that bitch's house. And I don't even know this bitch. Never seen her a day in my life. You get no feature over here, ho. Who are you? You don't matter to me. The only thing I knew about you was your name and that you filed like you beat on this bitch. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now, I'm going to tell y'all again. In the meantime, I'm getting mysterious text messages. Like weird ass text messages. Nobody has my number. I don't have friends like that. I'm getting weird. Like one day I got a weird ass message. And it was like, y'all know the screenshot of, say somebody on FaceTime or something like that. Like, it was a screenshot. I knew it was Taiwan on that bottom grid, but I didn't know who the fuck this crackhead bitch was because her face was blurred out in, like, you know how you can draw on the picture and it got the little red paint. That's what it was. So I'm just like, I ain't even get too deep in it. I just report junk, move the fuck on. But that was y'all playing on my phone. Like, this bitch wanted me to know who she was so fucking bad. Bitch, you're a lame just like that nigga. Because you sitting over here being content with him not taking care of his kid and you all up under his ass because y'all on drugs and shit. Crackhead hoes. Anyway, yeah. The leasing lady, Miss Brenda, shows me pictures of his apartment. And this is another thing she tells me. She says now his mom already stepped in and paid his back rent before. So 4 months prior, Mommy dearest, went in that leasing office and paid 4 months rent up front. We're paying $975, people. Do the math, because I hate math and I don't want to do it right now. Do the math. But me can't get no assistance, can't get no help when it comes to something. But you over here once again saving your illegitimate waste of a space ass son. And not telling me nothing about it. Granted, nah, fuck that. It is my business because you knew that bitch wasn't in that apartment and I'm over here giving once again, ladies, don't do it. Do not do it. Do not give your child up if something in your gut, something in your heart, something in your spirit is telling you. And you are worried when it comes to this nigga. I remember one time my child had the flu. I'm talking about I had been up for days. Wasn't getting no sleep or nothing like that. She calls me and tells me, Bree, you need some rest. Bring Layla over here and I'm going to watch her. I'm going to take care of her. And you just I'm going to watch her for like 2 days. You get some rest. I'm thinking you helping me out. You weren't helping me out because I get my child over there to you. You send my child over there to them. And you know what this fuck nigga do? He sends my child all the way down to motherfucking, I forgot, I think they were in Pompano. My child is at a fucking sleepover with 103 fever. So her godmother calls me and was like, I think Layla is sick. Why the fuck do you have my kid? And she's sick. She's supposed to be 10 minutes down the street with her grandmother. Once again, pulling motherfucking puppet strings. You stoosh. So when I tell y'all, I have been through the ringer with these people. My child's safety has been at risk. And me thinking, these people helping me out. These people supporting me, you know. But no, but when it's time to show up to go to Disney World, when it's time to go sailing around the motherfucking Mediterranean Sea for a week, my baby had a passport and everything. Y'all was so ready to throw passports and money in my face, but y'all doing all this sneaky, underhanded shit behind my back and car accidents, totaling cars, not even caring about my mind frame, about my kid. But then you want to be out here telling everybody that I'm a deadbeat ass mother, that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, that I'm stopping your son from being a fucking father, a father he never wanted to be, a father and then the fact that you used to tell me that Taiwan was never meant to be a father, and you still over here saving his ass every chance you get. But when it's time for me to actually need something, you saying, fuck me? Fuck you, bitch. But still, I'm still not even putting all that energy onto her because she's a grandparent at the end of the day. They are grandparents at the end of the day. They don't have to do anything But no, y'all wanted to save face. Y'all can't have no bad name on y'all. So y'all gonna do whatever in y'all power to make sure that your kid is saved. And let me tell you something else. Ladies, pay attention. Pay attention to them grandmothers. Pay attention to how they move, especially when it comes to their son and how they raise them. Because you're supposed to be military. You're supposed to be upstanding. You're supposed to be have this good life while your son's such a fuck up. Something happened. You can't tell me something happened when that bitch was little. Because he hates women. He walks around this bitch and you hate your mama. So clearly you hate women just based off what you did to me. So, let me tell you something. So, one day, he has a stepsister. Doormat has a daughter. Remember I told y'all, Doormat has a daughter. And let me tell you, if I ever get the opportunity, if I get married or anything like that, and I have a stepson, stepdaughter, I would never do or say the things that she used to do and say to that girl. Because you already think you hot shit because his ex-wife, which is Doormat's, ex-wife, which is, Doormat's daughter's mom. Let's just be real. She don't hold a candle to you. She don't hold a candle to you. Now, she's very smart, business-like, whatever. But when it comes to looks, boy, oh boy. Anyway. So that gave her a little ego boost. Yeah, I look better than your ex-wife. Always saying that shit. Always saying that shit. But let me tell you, ladies, pay attention. So one day, I'm at the house dropping Layla off. Just me and her and Layla. And she proceeds to tell me, once again, telling people's business. Telling people's business. That's supposed to be your stepdaughter. Why are you talking about her like that? Let me tell you. So, Doormat's daughter had a boyfriend. I guess her first boyfriend. Now, Doormat's daughter is a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer, so I understood, and she was sweet. She had a head on her shoulder. She's very smart. She was in school to be a teacher and whatnot, bloop, bloop, bloop. But you can tell she's a late bloomer. She's sheltered, so she doesn't know all that stuff like that. Tell me why this lady proceeds to tell me, no, she's on FaceTime. She's on FaceTime with her two other friends that's a part of the cult. She proceeds to, and she's talking about Doormat's daughter. She's talking about her stepdaughter. So I guess it's her first real boyfriend. The boyfriend ends up cheating on her and getting an STD. Why I know this information? Okay. She's on FaceTime with her friends. And they're talking about the conversation that they had with her stepdaughter, letting her know, so she told her that she ended up getting the STD from her boyfriend. Tell me why these grown-ass women in the church, y'all go to church faithfully every Sunday. You ahead of the dance choir. You in the choir. Both y'all in the choir. Y'all so God-fearing. Tell me why they are on FaceTime talking about the conversation that they had with her stepdaughter, with Gurt's stepdaughter, saying that it's okay that you got an STD. Like, you don't need to be dumping him, because she was so confused. She didn't know if she should break up with him or anything like that. These old ass ladies on this phone, one who ain't even got a man, one who's still staying with her fucking parents and ain't never had a spot on her own, and gonna have a nerve to try to tell me about me. Shut up, bitch. Anyway, she proceeds. They were talking on the phone, telling her, like, I told her that she need to stay with that boy. That's the best she gonna get. She don't need to dump him. She don't need to dump him. I'm talking about, I'm looking at them eyes wide shut. How dare you, for one, talk about your family like that? Your stepdaughter. Why would you talk about her like that? As far as she confided in you. She came to confide in you, what she used to do to me. Come acting like she's on your side when she's not. She's just getting information. And then you running off This girl confided in you about what happened to her. Embarrassing. You go and run and tell your friends. And then your friends are over here trying to convince, you and your friends are trying to convince her to stay with a dude who gave her an STD, telling her that's the best she gonna get. Let me tell you how Gurt is. Gurt is that type of person who will build you up, let you feel like you can do something. And then as soon as you feel like you're doing something, she'll pull the motherfucking rug up underneath you. She'll start planting seeds in your head. You gaslighting, love bombing, slick-headed, pin-headed ass bitch. You think you finna do that to my kid? Let me stop there. Because I wasn't thinking like that. My thing was, I'm thinking, you're disgusting. And I will never tell you. I wasn't telling her nothing anyway. And she used to get mad. And she used to make little comments like, ooh, you need to eat a sandwich. Why you got all that? Why you got makeup on? Why you got that outfit on? Where you going? You mad ass bitch. But a week later, trying to get the same wig I got on. Week later, trying to wear the same kind of outfit I got on. You 50-something, bitch. You're jealous. You're a jealous asshole. You're a jealous ass bitch. And always tried to give you the respect, even though y'all was spitting in my face. I'm like, God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. No, fuck that. God is on my side. So, let's get back to Invader's M. That was just a little tidbit. I got to fill y'all in on how these people come. And that's why I'm cursing. And that's why, because I've been holding this shit in for 10 years. But it gets better. Oh, it gets better. But I'll start those segments later. But I just wanted to get past the point of me meeting him, getting pregnant, and the whole time I'm in Florida, what I'm going through. Hell after hell after hell. Now, there were some good points, but that shit overshadowed. Them good points diminished because they were giving me so much bullshit. Wanted me to lose my mind, doing everything in their power for me to not have control of my kid. But you see, it didn't work. My kid will never be taken away from me. My kid will never be out of my possession. Guarantee you that. So that just goes to show how strong I am, how resilient I am, and how a bitch ain't gonna tell me a motherfucking thing about me or mine or what's gonna happen in my life. You tried to fuck my life up. You tried to do everything in your power for me to feel like I'm nothing, for me to feel like I'm trash. Didn't work, bitch. While your son over here spiraling, getting beat up, getting rim ragged by little bitches. Nah. On drugs, totaling cars, not getting his life together, still ain't got his life together. But we gonna get there. I'm telling y'all, the segment ain't gonna end. I just wanted y'all, like I said, to see from the time I met this demon, getting into his demon family. I thank you for letting me know I don't belong, because baby, I'm of the light. Your family is a whole family full of demons. Okay? Now, the only person I don't fault is his cousin. I never had issues with his cousin, because his cousin always had a fucking brain. But